What's up, everybody? We got the finale for Daryl Dixon, the Book of Carol this week. And before we get into the episode, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you're not missing out on any future videos. But enough from me, let's get into the episode. We picked up with Daryl and Laurent after Ash said the plane won't fly with all four of them on it, and Daryl's made the decision already that he's staying behind. He's not worried about it though, as he knows he can survive on his own, even if he's come around on having others around him throughout his journey. He found a guitar for Laurent here too, and the pair share another father-son like moment with Daryl still thinking of Isabel. Carol's the same idea, though she tells Ash that she's not going with them, as she obviously doesn't want her lies to affect Daryl, and especially not Laurent. And as I said last week, it feels like the no-fly thing is more about Ash and his anger towards her and not the plane itself. Then with our third group of survivors, we see Cadron and Falou on a run together as they've come to work rather well together. They're found by Sister Jacinta, though, who's now leading Jeanette's soldiers, who were also Lasang's soldiers, as both of the previous leaders are dead. They're saved by Aquila, who's Falou's lover apparently, and rush off to warn the others. After her attempt to get information from Falou and Cadron, Jacinta finds Anna Valerie, who runs the underground club, and gets the location of the plans out of her. She's always in it for herself, so when she gets a chance to take a deal, she does. She wants to go home, which is Corellia, and she wants a ride on the plane to get there, which she agrees to. From there, we get to one of the stranger moments in the episode in the season, Carol giving Daryl his crossbow back. I had honestly forgotten that she brought it with her, but when she pulled it out after all this time, it felt incredibly odd that she didn't give it back sooner. Regardless, they're doing the final touch-ups on the plane for their journey home when Falou and Cadron arrive at Ash's fort. They arrive just before the enemy as Anna is leading Jacinta right to them. But when they get close, she sees a painting of the Eiffel Tower and is reminded of Laurent, which forces her hand and she ends up sacrificing herself, leading the soldiers away from the plane. During that, Jacinta was bitten by a walker, one of Jeanette's walkers in fact, starting the timer on her life. Valerie's sacrifice bought enough time to get the plane fixed as the bullets start flying and Daryl gets a quick goodbye with Carol and Laurent. The shootout continues as they head down the runway, with Daryl taking out the biker that almost gets the plane. But when he can't take out the dune buggy, Carol jumps out off screen and snipes the driver, allowing Ash and the boy to escape. So, having failed her mission for God and also the fact that she's dead already, Jacinta pops herself in the head and the fight is over. Our pair is stranded but together and headed to England now as Falou thinks it'll be easier to get home from there. On their journey, Daryl and Cadron spent some time bonding over their brothers as they both had to finish their brothers off after they died and turned. Daryl doesn't outright mention Merle, but the sympathy is there from him because of it. He also let Cadron know that he didn't actually kill his brother, but the soldier, realizing his entire mission, we'll call it, in season 1 was based on a lie. At the same time, Carol is breaking down over the guilt she's accumulated throughout the apocalypse. From Sophia to Lizzie to Henry, it's just too much for her. Just like leaving his love is too much for Falou, as he says his goodbyes to the group and decides to stay behind in France. So, the rest of the group heads into the tunnel where there's batshit fumes that make you hallucinate. The first checkpoint they reach is completely wiped out, basically serving as a graveyard until they run into some walkers. Not just normal walkers though, glow-in-the-dark walkers, which I say that jokingly, but they were pretty cool. Also, the way they brought it to life with the black lights and the paint, that's really cool. But anyway, Carol's tripping on the fumes and thinks she sees Sophia, which separates her from the group. It's just another walker though, and she even sees herself as a walker, having to face herself. Cadron's experience is a bit worse though, seeing his brother and thinking Daryl killed him again. They fight, and Daryl tries to save him, but Cadron stabs him and runs off, tripping his balls off. Then it was revealed that Falou's Scottish friends planned this, and you gotta wonder if Falou knew that what they were gonna do, which would really suck because I've grown rather fond of him. Either way, their plan backfires as they end up giving both Carol and Daryl reasons to keep fighting. Daryl gets to see Isabel one last time and get closure, and Carol gets to see Sophia, her daughter Sophia, not the walker that came out of Herschel's barn, in what I thought were going to be her final moments. Overall, I thought that was a good episode, but not a great finale. There were good moments, but for me, they didn't come together in a meaningful way to keep that momentum going. Like, I'd say I wasn't fully engaged until we got into the tunnel towards the end of the episode, but that's not to say it was terrible because that shootout was pretty damn cool. And so that'll do it for my breakdown of the finale from Daryl Dixon, The Book of Carol. It was more of a pacing issue this week than a story issue, so my faith isn't broken for the third season of the show just yet. Let me know what you thought of the finale, though, down in the comments below, and make sure you have a great day.